All right. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me first and foremost thank you for your time this evening because I believe that what you're about to receive can really help to revolutionize your life, take it in a different course, improve your health and well being. Because there's nothing, no, really nothing more important than that, right? A lot of times people are striving for wealth and success, but what good is it without your health? My name is Dr. Rosalind Shaw Belt, as you see on the screen. For those of you that don't know who I am, a little bit about my background. I'm the CEO of Dream to Life Productions and Ministry. I'm a wife, I'm a musician, I am a videographer. I've been blessed to do a number of different things, previously president of a record company. I do have two doctorates. The doctor is not a medical doctor. Let me go on record saying that. My doctorate is in theology and divinity, but I am a certified wellness coach here at Akana. I am also the VP of communication of Akana. I'm a network marketer and I'm a licensed insurance agent. I was sharing that with a young lady today that I love working with my seniors from Medicare and helping them guide their path because I'm a broker. And so it's not about one particular plan, it's about all of them. So let's talk about the company. Just a few minutes. While I'm doing this, get your scan information together, whether you have it written out on paper or printed on paper, or maybe you have it on your phone. Let me go through a few things to give you time to get that ready. So this thing called Akana, you see it on my shirt. You may have seen it at your location where you got your scan done. It means in the hands of God. We launched our company on 4/20 of 2019. We started out with a line of CBD products. Essential oils and wellness line grew even into 2020. And then in 2021, something magnificent happened. We introduced something called the flat belly lifestyle. Oh my God, you're going to hear much about that tonight. We've got really over 30,000. Yep, I need a new slide. We've got over 30,000 customers, and we are proud that we reinvest 1% of our gross profit to empower undeserved communities. We have a full medical advisory board that backs us. Now, they don't just endorse our products. We've got chiropractors and medical practitioners. We've got LVNs and RVNs and DDs. We've got naturopaths. We've got MDs. We've got clinical psychologists and child psychologists, but they don't just endorse them. They literally use our products for themselves, for their patients, and for their families. So let's talk about the number one killer. All of us have heard about this for years. It's been told to us, heart disease. But here's the point that I need to drive home to you tonight. In 2020, nearly 700,000 people died from heart disease in the United States, and over 25% of them, the first time they found out that they had heart disease was at death. Literally, that should not happen. I mean, that's just, we've got to change that statistic, right? Because we can do something about it. 90% of that heart disease was preventable. And I need you to leave here tonight knowing that whatever's on your bioscan, whatever we talk about tonight, it is preventable. It is reversible. The second leading cause of death, cancer. The third leading cause of death, COVID-19. Now, but prior to that, you would be surprised to know that the third leading cause of death was medical error. Yes, being misdiagnosed, being diagnosed with something that you really didn't have to be diagnosed with. See, the problem in the United States, according to our CEO, Melissa Boston, she coined a phrase, chewicide. Chewicide. That's committing suicide with your fork. Yes, we're digging our graves with our fork because of too much animal protein, and that's messing up our kidneys and our organs and our cells. And it's moving us to faster aging, to cancer, to heart disease, and obesity, along with all of the processed foods. Guys, do you know it's intentional? When you go down the street and you see Jack in the Box, and this I'm talking about in my city, we got Jack in the Box, and we got McDonald's, and we got Burger King, and then we got all these other places. You got Burger King, burgers all over the place, and then chicken all over the place, and then pizza all over the place. And then down from the road is what? A dialysis center. That's intentional. See, even Dr. Oz, he said, our genetics load the gun, but our lifestyle pulls the trigger. So how many of you have people that in your family, your mother had this, your grandmother had this, your great grandmother had this. So it's just expected for you to have it too, because it's in your genes. Well, let me tell you something. You know what's really in our genes? What's really in our genes is that we eat like they ate, so we have what they have. But again, I told you, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm a wellness coach. So let me let you hear very quickly from the mouth of physicians, cardiologists, and wellness experts. Check this out.
2/3 of adults are now overweight or obese, and we have an epidemic cascade of debilitating disease that's overcoming the country. There's no way we can sustain the current style of care with the epidemic that we're creating with our diet and lifestyle choices.
The diabetes, the arthritis, the heart disease, the dementia, the obesity, the cancers are affecting about 70% of deaths. All the data is that those 70% of deaths and morbidity are largely lifestyle related and preventable.
Most kids by age 10 in the U.S. already have fatty streaks in their arteries, the first stage of atherosclerosis leading to heart attacks, strokes.
Here in American medicine, we operate from the disease model. We are in the business of treating sick people. We are not in the business of trying to prevent people from becoming sick.
When you look at chronic disease risk, all the things that we walk around worrying about, actually dietary choices trump smoking when it comes to those risks.
If I could deliver one message to the researchers who are looking for the cause of diabetes and the cause of clogged arteries and the cause of high blood pressure and the cause of obesity, I would tell them the answer's in 3 words. It's the food. It's what Americans are eating.
Now, I didn't say that. He said it, and he's a physician. And did you hear the guy before him, the cardiologist, who said, he went to school for 8 or 10 years to become a medical doctor, and he said, we're not in the business of preventing sickness. We're in the business of treating sick people. So my challenge tonight is to help you not wait for the crisis. You were privileged and we were fortunate enough to come in contact with you. Maybe you sat down with us for about 2 minutes and we went through this, what we call a bioscan, because we don't want to wait for the crisis. And if you haven't done this, just know that somebody loved you enough to introduce you to this tonight so that you may be possibly able to get one done. You hold a wand in your hand for about 2 minutes, non-invasive, no radiation. It's based on Eastern medicine, because Eastern medicine, contrary to Western medicine, which is where we live, is more concerned about imbalance. Whereas our Western medicine is concerned about a sign and a symptom, take a pill, the pill didn't work, take another pill. And you get your results in that 2 minutes time. 85 to 95% accurate. And this is not new, ladies and gentlemen. This has been around for over 40 years, but it's been in a different culture. See, it's based on quantum physics. It's based on what many of us learned about back in the day in school, about our cells. All disease starts in the cells. It moves from the cells to the tissue to the organs. Our human body is made up of trillions of cells. And didn't they teach us? Or maybe they didn't teach you. Maybe you heard it, or maybe you went to sleep that day in class. But the cells grow, split, regenerate, die, grow, split, regenerate, die. That's a cycle. And some of them over 15 years, some of them faster. So what does that literally mean? It means that biologically we can grow younger. Because in 15 years, right? Chronologically, can't got to do nothing about that. But how good is it to grow chronologically older, but still yet feel young? Don't we all want that? So the cells are measured against the spectrum of disease. We go to the doctor and they say, you have this, you have this, you have this. But when did I get it? What's the progress? All disease is progressive. Nobody on this call has had anything, whether it's lupus or cancer or diabetes or high blood pressure or whatever it is, overnight. You had it over time. So let's jump into your scan results. When you look at the first result on your phone, on your paperwork, or however it is that you have it, there's some columns. That first column is the testing item. And you may not even be able to see the word testing item, but just know that that first column is testing item. Those are the items that were tested. The second column is the normal range where we all like to be. We all want to be in that range, right? That would put us in the green. The third column is your measurements. So don't think you're looking at just a generic testing. No, this was done just for you, based on who you are, based on your birth date, based on your age and weight, all of that. And you were sitting there holding that wand personally. So those are your actual measurements. And then the third column are the colors. And that's where we're going to focus our attention, because the colors make it simple and easy to understand. So we see 4 different colors: green, blue, yellow, and red. Now you're going to see some blue, yellow, and red on the left, and you see some blue, yellow, and red on the right. The left means decrease, the right means increase. Now, what does that literally mean? That means that on the left, whatever is a decrease means it's not working as efficiently as we'd like for it to. On the right, it's overworking. This is really the way that our body is so wonderfully made, because that's the way God keeps us alive. If something is not working as efficiently as it should, something else has to overwork. So do we want either? No. In a perfect world, we want everything in the green, or at least as close to it as possible. I tell people all the time, I can kind of live with the greens and blues, but you want to get as close to it as possible. If you're looking at your report and you already see some yellow, you already see some red, we've got to do something, especially if it's red, because we've got to make some changes. Because the thing here is, what's important for you to understand is this bioscan result is letting you know which direction are you headed. Are you driving east, trying to get to California? Then aren't you glad that we met you to tap you on the shoulder to say, turn around, because it is reversible. Here we go. Your first report deals with your heart and your brain. It's called cardiovascular and cerebral vascular, the heart and the brain. And all those items that are tested on the left-hand side deal with the heart, except the last 2. The last 2 deal with the brain. And what we're looking at is, where is the plaque building up, leading? You know, how many of you have been on the phone with somebody and they're the picture of health, but you just heard they had an aneurysm, or you just heard they had a stroke or a heart attack, but they didn't look like they were sick? Because it starts in the cells, and the plaque builds up and we don't recognize it. So now you're going to see, I'm going to pair, excuse me, pair some things together, because most of the time you'll see them, if they're off, they'll be off together if they're on the right. Looking at your report right now, the first and the third thing: blood viscosity and blood fat. Blood viscosity means that your blood is thicker than it needs to be, and it'll be on the right. Now, looking at your report, is it in the blue, the yellow, or the red? In the blood viscosity or the blood fat? Now, fatty tissues, all of this, ladies, you heard him say it, it's the food, it's the food. You will understand this comes from our diet. Now, it's not about what you ate last night, last week, or last month only. It is related to that bioscan test when you from a teenager up until now. That's a long time. So, is your blood thicker than it should be? If you're looking at it now and it's in the red, more than likely, you're already on blood thinners. And it's because of the fatty tissues. And I'm going to share with you things that you may not have heard from your physician, because oftentimes they just give us the diagnosis, but not tell us where it came from or what's the meaning behind it. Many times the cholesterol is up. Some of you are already on Estatin, or they're trying to get you on cholesterol medicine, because look at there, you see it's in the blue. This report right here is just in the blue. But do you know, if a doctor saw this many times, they would be saying, you need to get on cholesterol medicine. But if you're in the yellow and the red, you know what it really means? It means this is your diet. You're eating too many foods that are cholesterol rich. So we have the certain things. Okay, I know we love our bacon. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm sorry. We love our pizza. But just hear what I'm saying tonight. All of these things are rich in cholesterol, and they're creating these fatty tissues in your bloodstream, because the blood's supposed to flow. It's supposed to flow. But when we're eating certain kind of foods, it's not helping because it's creating trash. If your faucet at home was not flowing the water properly, wouldn't you do something? If it was clogged up, you get a plunger. If it's clogged up, you're going to get some Drano. But what happens when we don't unclog our arteries? There's a reason why people have heart attacks and strokes and aneurysms. So we're going to clean it up. That's what we're going to do. And just hold on, because I'm going to show you, we're going to talk to you about what to do. We're not just going to talk about the problem. We're going to talk about the solution. Now, the fourth item that we're looking at is called vascular resistance. Look at your report. Where is it? On the right. If it's not in the green, it's to the right. In the blue, the yellow, or the red. Vascular resistance is related to one or two things, mainly blood pressure. Because here's the thing about blood pressure, and I've been asking this question all day today. When you look at these 4 circles, and you see the first circle, you think about, okay, that's blood coming through. That's perfect. But then you look at the third circle. Now, do you think that third circle requires the same amount of blood to get through as the first circle? I've been asking that question all day today. And the majority of the people that answered me told me no. It can't have the same amount of blood in the third circle with all that plaque buildup as the first circle. And every time they told me no, I said, you're incorrect. Because see, your body requires the same amount of blood to keep you alive. But when plaque is building up around the walls of your arteries, now that same amount of blood that's trying to get through has to push harder. And when it pushes harder and harder and harder, it does what? Raises up the blood pressure. And if it goes all the way to the right-hand side, called a blocked artery, well, that's a heart attack or a stroke because it can't get through. So what's the solution? The medication and all these things help us, but they put a panacea or a Band-Aid on it because that plaque tends to still be there. So we've got to flush, we've got to cleanse that plaque out and move ourselves back to that healthy artery. So the other thing that takes place in this same arena is stress. So if you were to tell me, and I sit down with you and you say, but I don't have a blood pressure problem, I've never been diagnosed with high blood pressure, or the doctor has not told me that it's on the border or any of that. Well, here's what I say to you. How's your stress level? Because see, it's not always what you're eating, but it's what's eating at you. And sometimes we've taken in certain things, or we've had situations to take place in our lives. Maybe we've lost loved ones or family members, or we just have stressful jobs or stressful relationships. I'm just saying, but whatever that stress is, you need to de-stress. Whatever it is, you gotta de-stress. If you can't take a trip, then get a picture of the Bahamas, put it up on the wall, get in the bathtub and quack like a duck. Put on a movie, a comedy, roll on the floor, get on the floor rolling, because laughter does good like medicine. But get the stress off of you, because stress is a silent killer. They'll be just saying she was a good old girl. He was a good old boy. While they're looking at you over your casket. So let's get the stress off of us. And let's realize that that blood pressure can be taken care of. And all of a sudden we want your doctor to say, oh, your numbers are so much better. Let's decrease your medication. Or you don't even need it anymore because now you're checking your own blood pressure and you're taking your own health in control, whatever your situation is. Now, we never make claims. We never tell people to get off their medication. But the goal is to get off your medication, all right? The next 3 items, as you see the blue arrows pointing at, I'm going to deal with together because they have a common denominator, the word elasticity. Taking a look at your report, where is it? In the blue? Is it in the yellow? Or is it in the red? And it's probably, if it's not in the green, over to the left. If it's over to the left, the common word is elasticity. What does that mean? Your blood vessel, our blood vessel, is supposed to be elastic like a rubber band. But when plaque starts building up, listen, it's our food, it's the diet. Many of us, plaques building up because over time, remember, I didn't say last night, last month, what have we been eating? We've been eating all the things with cheese and mucus and, oh my God, all the stuff that's building up plaque in our blood vessels. And what does it do? It causes that blood vessel to harden. How many of you ever heard the terminology hardening of the arteries? And if you see the third picture there on the right, that one broke. That means heart attack or stroke. And so now they've got to come and put a stent in, right? But let's go back up to that second picture. If you're in the yellow, that's where you are. And we got to move that plaque, get that plaque flushed out so we can take you right back. Didn't I say everything is reversible? Take you right back up to that first picture where you have the flow of blood taking place in your arteries. We don't have to have hardening of the arteries. So, but I said now, we're looking at three different things: vascular elasticity, coronary artery elasticity, and cerebral blood vessel elasticity. I did say they're all the same three words, elasticity, but the placement is different. So those things are hardening, but where? Vascular is around the heart, coronary is on the heart, and cerebral is on the brain. So based on your report, is it around the heart, on the heart, or on the brain that you're starting to harden? Your arteries are starting to harden, depending on, is it blue, is it yellow, or is it red? Remember, if it's blue, it's mild. If it's yellow, it's moderate. And if it's red, it's severe. It's just further out. So, but it's still reversible. We just got to flush it out. Myocardial blood demand, that's the next item that was tested. Every 60 seconds, the heart demands a certain amount of blood to get to the heart. Remember, I was talking about that when I was talking about atherosclerosis, about the high blood pressure. There's a certain amount got to get to your heart to keep you alive. And based on your report, you can almost tell why it's over to the right. Because if you've got hardening of the arteries on the left, or if you've got resistance up above it, there's a reason why it's on the right, meaning it's having to work harder. It's having to work harder to get that certain amount of blood to your heart every 60 seconds to keep you alive, because you've got hardening of the arteries taking place, or you're in the process of getting there. Here's the beautiful thing about this scan. It lets us know where we're going. You may not be there way before the crisis, but now you know why you feel what you feel. If you're feeling little slight chest pains every now and then, or you walking up the stairs and you got to catch yourself, all these things, it passes, but it's a sign, it's a warning to let us know. Next, we see myocardial blood perfusion volume. It's the volume of flow of the blood vessel. Because see, every time your blood flows to your heart, it doesn't just flow blood, oxygen. It's taking nutrients. See, one of the leading causes of disease is the lack of oxygen getting to the blood, getting to your cells. One of the other leading causes of disease is parasites and mucus that builds up over time in our blood vessels. And when this happens, it happens because of, I have one doctor, she said, take your beef, take your meat out from the store before you cook it, put it in the sink, pour Coca-Cola on it, and watch and see all the little critters that come out. Well, I've never done that because I don't want to see that. But I'm just saying, if you want to test it out, check it out for yourself. But that's really the stuff that we're taking into our bodies. Yeah, we cook it out, but it's still there. So we want to clean up that blood flow. Next, we see myocardial oxygen consumption. So every time the heart contracts, a certain amount of blood is coming through every contraction. And you got to, your heart demands a certain amount of consumption to take place. But when there's blockages taking place from those other areas of your body, now this has to overwork. You've experienced this. I've experienced this every time you exercise. When you exercise, doesn't your heart rate speed up? Doesn't the amount of oxygen have to come through more? Don't you breathe harder? Yeah, that's when you exercise. But is that supposed to happen when you're not exercising? See, if you've got blockages in other areas, your heart is overworking to make this happen. Then we've got stroke volume. Now, don't get panicking. It does not mean having a stroke. Stroke volume, every time the heart contracts, it's called a stroke. And then there's the left ventricle effective pump power. You hear that word, pump power? What does that sound like? All of this is related to how healthy your heart is, how healthy your heart is. Now, you're looking at your report. Is it in the green? If it's not, then your heart is not as healthy as we'd like for it to be. Is it in the blue? It's mild. In the yellow, it's moderate. In the red, it's severe. So what do? Can I tell you it's an easy fix? Exercise. Don't shoot the messenger. Yes. See, exercise is not for you to look good or feel good. It's for you to have good health in your body. We need exercise. And don't tell me, well, I got bad knees, I got a bad back. Listen, you can find a way to get exercise. You can get a YouTube video. I exercised with a lady many years ago on YouTube, and she was sitting in a chair. And she was exercising, and she was just moving her arms, and I was working with her, and I started huffing and puffing, and I'm like, whoa, this was a good exercise. And then she said, well, that's our warm up. I went, warm up? And this was just sitting in a chair. So there is no excuse, ladies and gentlemen, for us not to have some movement. Whether it's not, I'm not saying you got to go to the gym. I'm not saying you got to buy a whole lot of equipment. There are so many ways. I've seen people on YouTube using brooms and using towels, using all kinds of things. We can find ways to have movement every day, 3 days a week. There's got to be some kind of level of consistency. So let's get moving and watch these numbers improve. Because if you understand and you're in a position where you're able to get these numbers improved, somewhere down the road, and maybe in a year from now or 6 months from now, we'll do another scan and see your numbers improve, because that's the goal, to go in the right direction. Now, the next item, left ventricular ejection impedance. The key word, impedance. Impedance means blockage. The left ventricle's job is to send the blood to the rest of the body. I had a lady once, she told me, she said, I have, varicose veins. I'm not getting any oxygen down to my legs. Well, what does that mean? There's a blockage, because that blood is supposed to leave her heart and go through the left ventricle to all of the other areas of the body. But if there's an impedance or a blockage, you're not getting, what did I say, travels in the blood? Oxygen and nutrients. So we got to remove the block. We got to cleanse it. We got to detox these areas, the whole body. Then we've got the coronary perfusion pressure. Listen, do you realize that your arteries are only so wide? And there's pressure against the walls of those arteries when we have clots coming through. And it puts pressure on those walls. And the coronary artery, anytime you see that word coronary, that means on the heart. So before we were talking about around the heart, but now this is on the heart. So we've got to release that pressure so that the blood can flow properly and not produce these blood clots. And then the last one we're going to look at in this particular report is the brain tissue blood supply status. Now, remember I said the last two deal with the brain. We already looked at cerebral blood vessel elasticity, but now brain tissue blood supply status. That's kind of self-explanatory. Your brains need blood supply. Your brain tissue's got to have blood supply flowing, because if it doesn't have blood supply flowing, then it's got blood clotting. And if it's got blood clotting, it's leading to a stroke. It's leading to an aneurysm. Have you ever talked to somebody the next day, you heard they had an aneurysm, picture of health? This bothered me tremendously when I heard LeBron James' son, he, at the top of his game, just getting into basketball, not just getting into basketball, but just getting into college, starting to play, looking forward to playing with his dad one day, hopefully, and he had a cardiac arrest. Why? Because of not knowing what's happening in the cells of one's body. All right, so much for that report. Let's go to your next report. Your next report deals with the gastrointestinal function. Now, why is this important to me? It's the gut health. Why is it important? Because 70% of your immune system is in your gut. Why is that important? Because during this time that we're living in with pandemic, COVID, if we had better gut health, guess what? We wouldn't be worried about it. We need better gut health because your immune system to be able to counterattack anything that would come at you. So let's talk about your gut. Looking at this report, We got 5 items on that page. Pepsin, peristalsis, absorption. Those are the main 3, and you're going to see that name over and over again. So let's talk about pepsin. All right. Now, where is it on your report? Look at it. Is it in the blue, the yellow, or the red? It's probably on the left if it's not in the green. What is this thing called pepsin? Pepsin is an enzyme. It's an enzyme that's made in the stomach, and the job of this enzyme is to break down protein in food during digestion, to break it down. Sounds like it's doing the chewing, right? You know what the biggest problem with this is? We don't chew. We don't. When you bite an apple, how many times do you chew that piece before you digest it, before you swallow it? A few times. It's still kind of whole, got some whole pieces. And then you got pepsin down there chewing and working on your protein of your meat and everything else. And let's talk about time. Over time, you think it gets tired? Yeah, pepsin gets tired and says, I'm not doing it anymore. And now guess what you go through? Now you've got digestion problems. Now you've got food that you, oh, what's going on? I just feel so bloated. All this kind of stuff you're going through because this little enzyme is tired, not functioning anymore. Looking at yours, is it in the blue, the yellow, or the red? Lets you know how well it's performing or not performing, should I say. The next one is gastric peristalsis. The peristalsis is a muscle that is designed to move your food down through your intestines to your anus. And here's another one that's being overworked because we got so much food just sitting in our intestines that we haven't even digested yet, and it's cake. Now, if your toilet was backed up, would you flush it? If your faucet is blacked up, don't you get a plunger or some Drano or something? But here we are, we're just bloated, and we're going to get some Pepto-Bismol or some Maalox. My mom used to use that Maalox. All this kind of stuff just to make us feel better because we got indigestion, because we're feeling bloated, because this food is stuck, or we've constipated. This peristalsis is saying, you've been working me for years. And I'm so tired because you don't flush this food out. You don't get this food to get through your digestive tract. And the main thing is because we don't know how to eat. We haven't been taught anything about digestion. According to the Mayo Clinic, it takes 6 to 8 hours for food to pass through our whole stomach and our small intestines. It takes 36 hours to make it through the whole entire colon. Who on this call waits 36 hours before you eat again? Nobody. I ain't even waiting on that answer. We're going to eat again and again and again. So just visualize this, please, with me. Work with me. Visualize your digestive tract. Your intestines, your large intestines, your colon, your gastrointestinal, all sitting there digesting this food because you don't know how to, we don't know how to chew. And we're eating again and again and again, packing it. So that means some of the food is sitting on the walls of our intestines. So we've got what? Waste. We've got 8, 10 to 12 pounds of waste in our gut. Because I'm gonna give you a scenario. You got a plate with some strawberries and some chicken and some rice and some vegetable, say some broccoli. And here you go, you eat your strawberry and your gut says, oh, I can digest this real good. And so you start digesting that strawberry. And then all of a sudden you pick up and you get that broccoli and you put it in. And your digestive tract says, hold up, wait a minute, can't finish the strawberry because broccoli takes precedence. It's a vegetable. It takes a little bit longer than the strawberry. Oh, but wait, behind that comes the rice or the potatoes. And your digestive system says, hold up, I can't do that. I got to start working on the potatoes while the rice and the strawberries and the broccoli just sit there. Then you eat some chicken. And it says in this, without skin. Was it without skin? Was it with skin? Was it baked or was it fried? Either way, add some more hours to that. And now your digestive tract says, all of y'all got to wait. I got to work on this meat. And by the time it does all of that, that fruit probably begins to just ferment. And you wonder why your breath is smelling like it is and all this kind of stuff. So, and then by the time you finish the digestion, if you finish the digestion, there's some food left over on the walls. Does that make sense? And so we're clogged up with because we've done this over and over and over and over again. Because nobody told us that we should take time waiting to digest our food. There are other countries, they take hours to eat. But how many of us, we're eating fast, we're on the go, we're standing up, we ain't even sitting down. Are you getting this? Do you understand why our body does not digest? See, because you have a normal body temperature of what? 98.5, 98.6. Let me tell you something. Every animal has its own protein and oils that we have to digest. Now, if that animal's temperature is higher than yours, your body takes longer to do it. So regardless of what it is you eat, because you may say, well, I don't do beef and I don't do this, but whatever it is the body temperature higher than yours? The cow, look at the cow, 101.5 to 102. It's higher than 98.6. So every time you eat some piece of that cow, your digestive tract takes longer to digest it. The pig, higher than that. The turkey, even higher than that. Now you understand why we have Thanksgiving dinner and everybody's out like a light. Not because of your race, creed, or your color, but because your body is having to work to digest that turkey. Oops, there goes the chicken. Don't shoot the messenger. The chicken has a higher body temperature than all of those. So our body's overworking. But look at that fish. That's why so many people decide to become pescatarians. And that's why when you do your salmon and your fish, you can digest it so much better because it has a lower body temperature than ours. So much for the gastric area, all right? So now we looked at the pepsin, we looked at the gastric peristalsis, and we looked at the gas, and now let's look at absorption. So now just think about it. Everything I've talked about reveals to us how clogged up we are and how much we need to flush out our system. So if we're so clogged, could it be we're not even absorbing good? If we're not absorbing good, this concerns me because when I see this in people and they're on medication, they could be in a position where they're not absorbing and the medication that they're trying to take is not even benefiting. And then the doctor says, okay, well, that pill didn't work. Let me give you another one. That pill didn't work. Let me give you another one, right? But could it be you're not even absorbing? And then we look at foods that build up in our body. All the folk who are dealing with allergies and colds and all kind of stuff, do you know what really causes that? You know what really hinders you? Mucus. Mucus building up, causing that intestinal bacteria. Yep, milk doesn't do the body good. They lied to us. The cheese, I know you love it. We want it on everything. But I'm just telling you, mac and cheese, over time, all your life is your favorite food, but your body is not liking it now. Because over time, it's built up intestinal bacteria, mucus buildup, and it hinders the nutrients that you want to get in your body. You might be taking vitamins and stuff, and it can't even get through the bloodstream, and it's causing all kinds of deficiencies. And then the small intestines, same principle, peristalsis and absorption. Look at your report. Where is it? On the left-hand side, in the blue, the yellow, or the red. All it means is that the whole gut area needs flushing. The whole gut area needs to be cleansed. And then let's look at this next report called the large intestines. Okay? If you took your colon and stretched it out, they say that it would be the length of a quarter of a football field. So the large intestines has the same things. The peristalsis, it has that same muscle that's trying to move your food. And if you're not having your bowel movement, I'm telling you why. If you're not constantly having them, this is why. Peristalsis is not able to do it because it's tired. It's worn out. You've been working it and working it. You've been working hard for the money. And then the absorption, colonic absorption, it's not happening. And then intestinal bacteria. See that colon, we gotta cleanse it. Intestinal bacteria factors, smoking, coffee, tobacco, stress, and all of those foods high in fat are creating intestinal bacteria. And then last but not least, the intraluminal pressure. Just like I talked about the arteries, your intestines have walls and you can't stretch them too far. And the more food you're trying to get through it, the more it's trying to put pressure on that wall. And all of a sudden, now you just don't know why you're feeling so bloated, why you just got pain. Every time you eat certain things, it's just like, oh my God. And when you get excessive pressure, that results in the constipation, the IBS, yep, the irritable bowel syndrome. And then when you don't have enough pressure, then that contributes to what? The diarrhea and incomplete evacuation. You keep going because you never get finished. Next report is the liver. The liver. Giving you a minute to get to that liver report, because this is one of my favorite reports, because to me it has an effect on so many other things. Your protein metabolism, your energy production, your detoxification function, because the liver has an important function in your body. And then you want to increase bile. But what's the job of the liver? Well, you see the diagram here. I relate it to your car. Every 3,000 miles, you get your oil change. They don't just change your oil, they change your oil filter. Well, what if they didn't change the filter and they just changed the oil and sent the clean oil through a dirty filter? Guess what you'd have? Dirty oil. So you got to change the filter. Well, guess what the job of the liver is? To filter the blood. When it doesn't filter it, it's allowing the trash. And guess what? Yeah, you're getting some of it, because some things we can't do anything about because they're shooting up the cows and the chickens and the turkeys, and you get toxins automatically. I mean, you go outside and breathe air. So they're spraying stuff on your fruits and vegetables. You wash them, but you're getting some of those pesticides in your system. So we got to do what? Cleanse. We got to detox. We've got to live a life of cleansing our full body. And we need bile secretion. Many of us don't like water. Bile is necessary. It's a greenish yellow fluid that plays a crucial role in digestion and absorption of fats in your small intestines. And 85% of bile is made from water. Now, here's the part I don't like. I don't like bitter foods, but I need some bitter foods in my life because they help stimulate bile production. That's why you got to choose from your dark green leafy vegetables like beetroots and artichokes and pickles, roasted dandelion tea. Some of those teas that you don't just pick, not Lipton with all the sugar. So the liver. Now, the final thing on your liver report at the bottom, that's the one I really want you to pay attention to. It's probably on the right if it's not in the green. Where is it? Is it in the yellow? Is it in the red? Even if it's in the blue, you have a fatty liver. Did you hear what I said? Fatty liver. This is called the non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Now, if you're like me, I'm a baby boomer, and I was taught the only people that had cirrhosis of the liver were alcoholics. But having fatty liver disease, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, is just like you've done damage to your liver like you had a bottle of vodka every day. See, our liver's job is to filter. But because we've worked it so much, it has hardened and now it's not filtering. So what do we have to do? Cleanse it, detox the liver. You're going to hear me say that word till you get it. Detox the liver. We're going to show you how to detox the liver and get you back to a healthy liver. And what does that mean? Now you'll have clean blood flowing through your body and the life of the flesh is in the blood. So let's detox the liver. Look at our kidneys. The kidneys have so much damage done to them right now because of medication. I'm gonna just tell you the real truth. Excuse me. My father died on dialysis, but he had been on blood pressure medicine all his adult life. And so as a result of that, he had kidney failure. So take a look at your report right now. Excuse me. Because the kidney is a filtration system. See, we have too much protein, urea in our kidneys. Our uric acid is up. And if your uric acid on the right is over in the red, you're probably already experiencing gout. So let's clean this up. So we don't move through the stages of kidney disease. You don't have to do this. We don't have to be on dialysis and have this filtration system that man made. And then got to have medication to keep you on that. And then the last thing, the last report, I'll give you a chance to get it while I get some more water. Is your body more acidic or alkaline? Do you understand that terminology? If you don't, you go to the store, you buy a Duracell battery, and it's called an alkaline battery. But over time, it slows down its function. It doesn't work as good because of our diet, because of toxins and stress. Our body doesn't do the same thing. So we want to be in an alkaline state. Looking at your report, where is it your responsibility? Are you reacting? Are you responding? It has everything to do with your body being acidic or alkaline, your mental power, your water shortage to protect your cells, the hypoxia of oxygen, and your pH. If you're more of your diet on 3, 4, 5, and 6 than it is on 7, 8, 9, and 10, your body's more acidic. Your whole body is more acidic than it is alkaline. We got to get you over at 7, 8, 9, and 10. So it means incorporating more fruits and vegetables raw, as well as alkaline water. But it's not just about eating those things and drinking alkaline water. You got to flush the acid out. So it's not about, it's just red or green. There's no gray area. We got to get you in an alkaline state. Why? Because disease does not dwell in an alkaline environment, but it thrives in an acidic state. So here's my message: stop eating the crap. The carbonated drinks, the refined sugars, the artificial foods, and the processed foods. And heed to the warning. That's all we're giving you tonight is a warning. If I'm in Houston and they say a hurricane is coming, we're going to do something about it. We're going to the store, we're getting batteries. We're going to do something to get ready, whether it comes or it doesn't. Will you tonight make a decision to do something? You say, what do? Flush your body. Flush it with a cleanse. Let's talk about the cleanse. Let's flush the toxins and the mucus and the waste and the parasites, the plaque out through juicing fruits and vegetables. So I'm going to get out the way and let Miss Anna Gallagher, I love her. She's a mother, grandmother, entrepreneur, and a conopreneur. She's a certified wellness coach, and she's going to come and tell you now how to start your cleanse. Miss Anna, take it away.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Ross.
Miss Anna, we don't hear you.
Can you hear me?
I do now.
Okay. My chart is slow in moving. There we go. Good evening, everyone. Select 1. 7-day refresh or 21-day reset. This includes your meal plan, grocery list, and proven products to jumpstart your healthy journey. Now, on the refresh, this just means you lose unwanted pounds and you refresh the mind, the body, and soul in just 7 days. The reset, it helps you repair, renew, and reset your mind, body, and soul. It reduces belly fat, inflammation, and it drops the waist in just 21 days. You can take our 7 or 21-day raw cleanse. It's going to be one of the best ways to elevate your energy and to detoxify your body. There's 3 parts to it. The first one is it removes the mucus and the parasite. It's called the Eliminator. It's a powder you drink 8 ounces every morning with just 1 teaspoonful of this awesome Eliminator stirred in it. Number 2, the Purifier. This is going to clean your colon and detoxify your bodily organs. This is a tea bag in this bag, 45 ounces of water you boil. When it comes to a boil, you drop the tea bag in, let it soak in it overnight, and on your 7-day or 21-day, either one, every evening before 8 o'clock, you drink 4 ounces. Now, mind you, the first day you drink in the morning and in the evening before 8 o'clock. The other 6 or 20 days, you only drink 8 ounces once a day. That's in the evening before 8. And our regenerator. This is our step 3. It has all this delicious vitamins and minerals rolled into a powder that you put 2 teaspoons full in your juice, or you can put it in a smoothie along with our newest partner with this, which is our hemp flat belly blaster, hemp protein. You can add it to your raw smoothie and look at all the things that it does. Look at the ingredients: hemp protein, coconut, palm sugar, ashwagandha root. That's just to name a few. It is awesome with a great smoothie. And last but not least, we've discovered the most powerful superfruit on planet Earth. Step 4, the Arona berry. It accelerates your weight loss, tastes delicious, takes only 1.5 ounces twice a day, morning and evening, each time before you eat, and it reduces inflammation. Last but not least, the ORIC score is 41,000 plus. So some of you are asking, well, what is the ORIC score? To help us understand how effective this berry is, or the food at protecting our cells, the ORIC score is the highest score any berry can have, and the Arona berry score has the highest one. And now we're going to let you hear from our farmer that grows the Arona berry, Farmer Tony. Let's see what he has to say.
I was looking for something natural. I'm not into the prescription scene, and with family members that had issues in my immediate family, serious sicknesses that led to death, and so I started searching for something that was natural. And I've been looking and studying and researching antioxidants, and I came across Aronia berry, and I saw that it had the highest antioxidant rating of any other fruit on planet Earth. Anthocyanins are found in the plant world, and raspberries, they've got anthocyanins in them. Blueberries have anthocyanins in them. But in the Aronia berry, it has anywhere from 20 times to 2,000 times the anthocyanin content in Aronia is what these other fruits do. Anthocyanins are very powerful anti-inflammatories. Science has revealed that they help everything from the eye, the brain, the heart, the circulatory. It also aids in increasing the immune system, help strengthen the immune system. The other thing I noticed that did is help my eyesight. For me, that was very important. And then what I saw from being able to rest a full 8 hours a night. I was a 5 to 6 hour guy, and I was able to sleep for 8 hours and had plenty of energy for the next day. And it acts as a cellular protection. I think all of our, when we talk about drugs and medicines and stuff, a lot of times we don't get to the root cause. And so we need to get to the root cause, which is at the cellular level. And Aronia is a cell protective, the compounds of Aronia are cell protective, so that when we have a mutated cell, the Aronia can actually stop it from mutating. It protects other cells to keep that mutation from invading other cells. The other thing I noticed that for me, I think my heart rate, my blood pressure, my cholesterol levels, all those things seem to be modifying once I got on this regimen of the aronia juice twice a day.
Okay, what you will need. These are just some of the items. Alkaline water, you can have a refill with a 5-gallon jug and it only costs $5. Check it out. Blender or shaker bottle, spinach, kale, mixed greens, arugula salad per day with red onions, veggies, and vegan dressing. Bananas, avocado, fresh and frozen fruits, pecans, walnuts, almonds, and I do not mean sugar-coated. Raw almond butter, flaxseed or flaxseed oil, flat belly 7-day refresh or 21-day reset. Come on, guys. Stores to purchase additional items: Amazon, Trader Joe's, H-E-B, Whole Foods, and of course, the store of your choice. Free grocery guide, free group coaching. Get it. Our Akana warriors. All of these are people that's done the 21-day cleanse and they've shown their amazing results. Look at them, guys. Come on, you all. Let's join them. And then we're going to hear from our amazing CSO, Miss Phyllis Nash. She's going to tell you what the 21-day cleanse did for her.
I was able to lose 14 pounds, 6 inches. And I love the way I look. I'm not gonna lie, I am loving this. But let me tell you what I love even more. I dropped my cholesterol 50 points. Blood pressure stabilized. And my doctor and I had been fighting for the last 5 years because she wanted to put me on a statin. And I absolutely refused. And she told me I would never change my cholesterol, lower it by diet alone. Well, you can know how excited I felt when I had dropped it 50 points. I want to be optimally healthy until the day I just close my eyes and I'm not here anymore. I hope you join us.
All right, back to Dr. Roz, our awesome teacher and mentor.
All right, Miss Anna, fantastic. Great job as always. So proud of you. But listen, let's get moving. We're about to close this out. And I want you all to know what's important right now is for you to make some decisions. Now, you had a bioscan report. Somebody probably told you that wasn't the full report. That was 6 items. It's 45 items. Now, if you want to get all 45 of those items, you need to get back with the person who did that scan, because there's some other things you might need to really know about. How about your gallbladder, your thyroid, bone disease, rheumatoid bone disease? They've already diagnosed certain things. What about your vitamins? What about the trace elements? Where are you deficient? You know, vitamin deficiency, that's really important. Heavy metals. What about for the men, your prostate, for the women, your breasts? So you can get that full report. Just get back with the person who did the scan, and they'll instruct you on how to obtain this full report. Now, the other thing that's important is knowing your blood type. Do you know your blood type? See, if you don't know your blood type, then you're operating in the blind because you could be eating some food that's poisonous to you. Yep, you heard me right. Your blood type is a more reliable measure of your identity than your race, your culture, your geography. It's your genetic blueprint. What's your blood type? Is it A? Is it a B? Is it an AB or an O? Do you know that if you're a blood type A and you love your bananas and you're eating them every day with your cereal, it's toxic to you? It's like me giving you poison. And you're wondering why you're going through some things in your physical body. It could very well be that you're eating a very food that is toxic to your blood type. And we'll provide you with that information and guide you how you can even get a list and know which foods you shouldn't have. You see right there, oh, some of y'all don't shoot the messenger. I'm telling you, bees, you're not supposed to have chicken. And it's not what you have some of the time, it's what you do most of the time. And if you don't, we got a blood type kit. It has everything in it that you need. It only takes about 5 minutes. You can do it yourself. It's got the sticks and the lancet and everything you need and the swabs. And you will know in just a short number of minutes what your blood type is. Instead of paying hundreds of dollars to go to the doctor, I'm telling you, they'll charge you a lot of money if you ask them what your blood type is. Now let's talk about the cleanse. 7 days or 21. 7 days or 21. Now, if you're looking at your report that we've gone through and you've got reds, I'm suggesting you do 21. Because, but I understand 21 days for some people is a long time to go without any meat, just meat alone. And we're talking about no meat, no food, no cooked food, all raw. You see, it says raw cleanse. That means just what it says. That means the stove is not turned on. That means fruits, vegetables, and salad. And you can have dressing. You heard her say that. As long as, I tell people, as long as you can see through the dressing. You can't see through ranch. You can't see through Thousand Islands. You can't see through French, blue cheese, but you can see through those vinaigrettes, those vegan dressings. So the 7-day cleanse is just $139. The 21-day cleanse is $350. Includes all 4 of the products on either one of them. All 4 products on either one of them. Just for 7 days, you have 7 days worth. 21, you have 21 days worth. And it's not a rocket science. You'll have more than just 7 or 21 days worth, because it doesn't, the package doesn't empty out as soon as that last day takes place. But make a decision to get started. So if you're a person and you've got a scan report that says that you really should do 21 days, but you mentally are not ready for that, then start with 7. But get started. Start somewhere. And if you're listening to this and it makes sense to you, and you want to benefit from yourself, then there's another package. Now, this is only for the person who says, well, you know what? I see this and it makes sense. And I've got some family members who also want to do it, but guess what? Wouldn't it make sense for them to buy from you? So here's another package for $3.99. It includes a 21-day cleanse, but you know what else it includes? It includes you having the website from them to buy from you. Sometimes for some people, this makes financial sense. Because not only do you get the cleanse, not only do you get your own website from people to buy it from you, your family member come to you now and get it, because they're going to see you transform, they're going to see you change, but you're going to also get some of our other products, our pain cream, our gummies, our sample packs to give away. I mean, it's over $400, it's over $1,000 in total value and over $400 in product for just $399. Now, either you can get the $139 for 7 days, or you can get the $350 for 21 days, or you pay just a little bit more and now you get $399 and you get the 21-day cleanse with some other product, and you have a website for other people to go to your site when they see your transformation. And let me just add this, just in case there is somebody watching this that says, I want to be a coach like you guys. I want to be a wellness coach. We are needing, not just wanting, we need more wellness coaches. We need a wellness coach in every nook and cranny, every city, every state, all over the country, because we need people helping people. We need people giving these scans, changing people's lives. And if you're that kind of person, and that's something you want to move towards, maybe you're not ready now, but just so you know, it's available to you for $14.99. Now, that does not include the scan equipment. The scan equipment is an additional $500. So just round it off, $2,200. You can become a certified wellness coach. We train you, we teach you. But either way it goes, let's get started with this detox. A detox is your opportunity to give your body a break. Let God do what he does best, heal us. He designed it that way for our bodies to heal itself, go through the self-cleansing and the self-healing process, and elevate with the Kana. Let me personally thank you guys tonight. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for getting your own level of education to learn what you need to do to take your body to the next level. All right? Get back with the person that invited you here. Get back with the person who did your bioscan. Get your full reports. Get your blood test kits. And by all means, get your cleanse. Flush your body, everybody. Good night.
Night, Dr.